Welcome back to Bell Rock. If you'll follow me. I'd like you to meet Job Lane. Here lieth buried ye body of Job Lane, aged 77 years, died August 23rd, 1697. Job Lane is credited with being one of Massachusetts' first great builders. A carpenter and housewright, Job Lane may have briefly lived in Dorchester before moving to Malden. Job Lane built several substantial homes in the area and Malden's first meeting house. In exchange for the construction of a house for the Winthrop family, Job Lane was granted a 1,500-acre farm in Billerica. Job Lane spent much of his adult life developing that land in Billerica, and in his later years moved back to Malden, where he served as a selectman before passing away in 1697. According to Corey in his History of Malden, Job Lane is our earliest reference of slavery in Malden. We know this because of a newspaper announcement that he has bought a young boy named Mercury, and also a cryptic reference in town records to his servant Ebedmelech. That is all Malden knew about Ebedmelech. But thankfully, that's not all we know about Ebedmelech. After Job Lane had developed the farm in Billerica and moved back to Malden, he left the farm and its estate to his grandson, Deacon Job Lane. The Lane family continued to develop and expand the property, and today, the Job Lane Farm Museum is a historic building in Bedford. You can plan a visit at joblanefarmmuseum.org. But that's not all the town of Bedford did for old Job Lane. The Job Lane papers were inherited by the Lane family, who continued to live in Billerica and then Bedford. The Bedford Historical Society has then painstakingly researched and digitized these documents. And thanks to the efforts of the Bedford Historical Society, we now have a treasure trove of information available to everyone around the world about Job Lane, including Ebedmelech. Ebedmelech was enslaved in the Caribbean island that is today called St. Kitts, but back in the 1600s was still called St. Christopher's. He was for unknown reasons sent to Boston to be put under the control of a man named George Dell, who immediately freed him. And in 1651, Ebedmelech signed a 9-year indenture with Job Lane. So much of Malden's earliest infrastructure, including our first meeting house, was built with the help of a black man. And that's Job Lane of Malden and Billerica. See you tomorrow.